British Petroleum Oil Refinery in Carson, California. It provides for 1/4 of the Los Angeles gasoline market and helps give us those famous orange sunsets. It went online in 1938, the same year oil was first discovered in Saudi Arabia, and today pumps out over 275,000 barrels of black gold each day. That's enough to get this Toyota Prius from here to the sun and back 3 times.
So we figured the Prius would be the perfect car to take on a little road trip because, frankly, we can't afford the gas to do it with anything else. Along the way, we'll try and figure out if the cult of hybrid really is all it's claimed to be. But one thing is for certain, it sure would be nice to get away from all this.
Our journey will take us from the petrochemical hub of Carson, up Highway 1, to the California state parks of Big Sur. The 11.9-gallon tank is full, and with an estimated 46 mpg, we should have no problem making the 320-mile trip in the Prius with plenty to spare.
Now, the Prius isn't just a hybrid, it's the hybrid, and it works by using a 1.5-liter 4-cylinder engine that puts out 76 horses and a pretty measly 82 pound-feet of torque. But it's assisted by a permanent magnet AC synchronous electric motor that puts out 67 horses and a rather drool-inspiring 295 pound-feet of torque. But don't get too excited, the Prius is optimized for efficiency and not performance, so it won't be winning any stoplight drag races. But it does hold the crown for the most fuel-efficient car on the American market today. With an average fuel economy of 46 mpg, Americans have a raging hard-on for the Prius. In fact, since it was debuted to the States in 2000, Toyota has sold us more than 600,000 of these things. That's more than half of their sales worldwide. And as car guys, that kind of offends us. The June 2008 issue of Wired magazine featured a study claiming that it costs so much energy to produce the nickel for the batteries in a hybrid car that before it even drives off the lot, it's like the Prius has gone 45,000 miles. Instead, they suggest you get a 98 Toyota Tercel, and that still gets a very good 35 miles per gallon, but the carbon debt has already been paid off, so it would take years for the Prius to catch up. And if you're willing to buy a 94 Geo Metro with its 50 horsepower engine, that gets the same mileage as a Prius, so the Prius would never catch up.
Still, after 250 miles, the Prius was getting a sorta impressive 51 mpg. Yeah, sorta really impressive, but the trek would still take us across 2 more hours of windy roads, so we refueled. Our gut. I think what I find most suspicious, though, about the whole hybrid phenomenon is that they use less gas, right? So in theory, whoever sells the gas stands to make less money on them. But whoever makes the batteries stands to make a whole lot of money on them, right? Well, now, who do you think owns the patent rights to every single nickel metal hydride battery used in every single hybrid car on the market today? About 20 years ago, General Motors had the opportunity to revolutionize the auto industry with their electric car, the EV1. And they took that opportunity and they crashed it full throttle into the fail wall. In the next few years, in an effort to forget the whole fiasco ever happened and recoup some of their losses from the project, they sold the patents to the batteries in the EV1 to Texaco, who was then purchased 6 days later by Chevron, who wanted to make the whole thing look as inconspicuous as possible. Toyota, who was watching this whole train wreck take place right in front of their eyes and was taking notes, realized that consumers wanted a car that could get spectacular gas mileage, but unlike the EV1, they made a car that got better range than the gas cars people were already buying, not worse. And so, the hybrid car was born. Toyota also knew that for their new technology to take hold in the marketplace, it not only had to be better, but it had to be affordable as well. Now, the hybrid drive itself ain't cheap, so the rest of the car had to be. The interior is roomy, but not especially comfortable. There are buttons that don't do anything, small windows in strange places, a screen with lots of blinking lights that tell you almost nothing useful but sure do distract, and a gear knob featuring the letter B. So if you thought the Prius's innovative technology might extend beyond the hybrid drive, think again. It's not less than you'd tolerate: stereo, AC, power windows, wheel-mounted controls, lots of storage. But there's nothing to get excited about. And the looks? Well, if you're nice, you could say the styling is an acceptable compromise for the aerodynamics, but a Maserati is aerodynamic too, so why didn't they make it look like that instead of a Pontiac Aztek?
Now maybe you're thinking the ride more than makes up for these deficiencies. Yep. The steering is completely without feel, and if you do manage to get yourself excited, your hands will get sweaty and they'll slip right off the plastic steering wheel. The 0 to 60 is estimated at 10.5 seconds, which is slower than a Chevy Suburban and the Dodge Sprinter, our camera van. Stepping on the gas at just about any speed produces a lot of noise, but very little result. And when I say noise, that is not to be confused with an exhaust note.
But somehow, you'll soon get the incontrollable urge to maximize that MPG readout. It's not much fun, but just try not to get hooked on it. After a little while, the Prius trains you to drive more efficiently, and these days, that could come in pretty handy no matter what you drive.
You know, I spent a lot of time today bagging on the Prius, and, you know, it deserves it, but the fact that it's so popular despite being such a crummy car just goes to show how badly Americans want the kind of freedom that it offers. I mean, I made it up here to Big Sur over 320 miles away with a camera guy and camping gear in the back on half a tank of gas and averaged over 51 miles a gallon doing it. So if more Americans get to experience this kind of beauty from what the Prius offers, where's the harm in that?
The Prius gets the award for being the right car at the right time. You can take issue with its overall footprint or its build quality, but it is the car that popularized the growing trend towards vehicles powered by clean, renewable energy. And I guess we're glad that it did.
I'm Jeremy Lusk, and thanks for watching WebRidesTV.